Welcome to another edition of the Red Raider Spotlight. I'm Jared Johnson. I'm joined by the mighty Joe Yeager. Oh, my Joe, we're taking Blanche's recommendation, James Blanchard, Texas Tech general manager, in which on Twitter he said a couple of times this year, the world is not giving Lee Hunter enough credit. You and I have been talking about Lee, and I know Blanche was talking about, more national media, but we've been giving Lee Hunter credit really since before the season kicked off. Like, this is the strength, man. This is uncommon for Texas Tech to have a guy like this. Yes. And Lee Hunter has proven out. I think he's been better than I was expecting this season. What's your thought on what the big defensive tackle means to this defense?
I tell you, he reminds me of the big defensive tackles that the University of Texas has had for years and years and years. I mean, I can go all the way back to like Steve McMichael and Kenneth Sims and guys like that, and much more recently, like a Devondre Sweat.
Yeah, dude's a beast.
Yeah, they always have at least a couple. Well, at least one, maybe two, occasionally three, just absolute monsters. And that's where they've always had an advantage, even against some of Texas Tech's really good offenses under Leach. Those guys gave you problems, and Tech never had anybody like that. Well, they got it now, and you see what a difference it makes. I mean, ultimately, he is the anchor of the defense.
Yeah.
It all starts with him.
I agree.
What he can do and everything that he does just kind of radiates out to everybody else and benefits everybody else.
Yeah.
It just kind of produces ripple effects throughout the defense. And, without Lee Hunter, this defense is still mighty good, but it looks a little bit different, and it's not quite so imposing.
Yeah, I'd say other than J-Rod, I think he's the most indispensable player on the defense for sure. I mean, you could argue on the team, obviously Barron, there's some other guys, but man, what a huge impact he's made. 6'4", 330-pound athletic freak for a guy at his size. Almost always commands a double team, but still defeats that sometimes. Look, the position he plays, the stats aren't going to be eye-popping, but he does have 4.5 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks. And I don't know how many pressures he's had. I didn't look that up. But the way, first off, Tech is tops in the country in rush defense. It starts with Lee, commanding that double team, like you said, as you always do so well. The ripple effect for the rest of the defense. Guys like J-Rod, Ben Roberts, who's quietly having a great season, by the way. John Curry, who's become like my spirit animal. Especially you go back and watch some of the plays he makes, like some of the blocks, even when they get turnovers and stuff, and the way he plays. But we already did a spotlight for John Curry. All those guys are getting a run free. And it's not just Lee Hunter. A.J. Holmes, obviously Skylar Gill-Howard when he was in there. Those guys. Jaden Cofield. In the way that the defensive ends have played, not just hero ball, Romello Height and David Bailey, the way they played against the run, all that helps. But like you said, it starts with Lee Hunter. And even against the pass rush, you mentioned in another video, Tech's pass rush is either the best in the country or right there. His push in the pocket makes it to where right in the middle, pushing the pocket back into the quarterback's face. I remember people asking me, like, how would you stop Mahomes when he was playing here at the Jones? I'd say the only thing I've seen consistently hurt Mahomes is pressure up in his face while keeping the edges, while keep being true, not letting him get outside the pocket. It's very difficult to do on a consistent basis, but we are seeing that with Texas Tech, obviously because of those edge rushers, but also because of Lee, Joe.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, you ask probably any quarterback, not just Mahomes, what's the worst thing to face? And it's direct pressure right up
in your face.
Yeah. Man. But what's the old story? Quickest line or shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Well, that's it. I mean, you're coming right over the nose. Unless you're rolling out, you're backing straight up. He's coming right at you.
Yep.
So it gets there quick. He does that. And then on top of that, I mean, even if he's not necessarily affecting you directly, he's pushing that center or that guard back into you. You can't follow through with the pass every time.
Yep.
Then you got Bailey and Height coming around the edge.
Oh, by the way, and J-Rod lurking and all those guys.
I don't envy him, man. That's not a job I would want having to face these guys. But yeah, it does start all with Lee Hunter. And it's interesting to speculate, maybe a little bit off topic, but how many All-Americans are going to be on this defense? Obviously, J-Rod.
Yeah, and David Bailey, is a no-brainer.
Both of those guys. I think Lee Hunter is going to be an All-American, and I think you can even make a case for Bryce Pollock.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, what, 4 interceptions? Yeah.
Yes. And then, I mean, you're looking at John Gray, to me, who looks like all Big 12.
Yeah.
Wisniewski, potentially all Big 12. I mean, the luminaries on this defense are just
and you haven't even mentioned Romello, who, again, you watch his tape, he's better than the stats,
yes, he is.
you know, suggest. And his stats are good, you know, so.
Yes.
But yeah, like, I love the ripple effect analogy or metaphor. That's what it is with Lee. One cool thing, I asked both McGuire and Wood about his impact, and Wood spoke more about, you know, basically what we just laid out there in terms of the ripple effect. But Coach McGuire said that Lee's not really a vocal, like, rah-rah kind of guy, but that's been Skylar Gill-Howard for this team. And Skylar Gill-Howard has continued to be that in a lot of ways. But if he's not on the field, he's not on the field. You know, there's just something to that. That's just a harsh reality, you know. And he said Lee has actually stepped up and been more vocal. Not crazy, not necessarily rah-rah, but he has stepped up and filled somewhat of a void there, and that's great to hear. One more note I want to mention, well, two, actually. One, if you get a chance to talk to Lee, I know he's scary. Again, 6'4", 330, just imposing. You can't help but be aware if he's in your general area. But really cool, dude. Smart. I'd really like to hear a conversation between y'all two. Like what that would be like, a back and forth. Just not even like recorded, just y'all just shooting the breeze. That would be amazing. But also I heard, I think it's Snapback. I can't remember what it is. Most of the people watching this will, I wasn't planning on saying this, is why I can't remember, but the Snapback folks who came through and did the whole facilities tour and the Raiderville tour, which I think they did a great job. They just happened to run into Lee Hunter in the facility. And there was some kind of quote or something from that where I think I'm getting the right correlation. But the gist is, he said he loves it here. He loves the people. That is what a great season it's been so far. And he wished he'd, you know, come here 3 years ago, but he didn't. And that's one thing I love about him too, is the reality. It seems like he's very honest with himself. Like, I remember in one post game, he was asked about what a great game he had, and he did have a great game. And he was like, "Oh, I can be a lot better. I got blocked some today." You know, that kind of self-honesty I really respect from folks, and especially these young players, my Joe.
Absolutely.
You have anything else to add about Big Lee?
You know, maybe I should. I don't want Big Lee coming after me.
That's right.
For not keeping on enough praise, but you know, I mean, I think we pretty much said it all. I mean, he's the key to the defense, and this is the best defense in program history. What more needs to be said?
Absolutely. Great stuff from you, my Joe, as always. Thank y'all for watching, and until next time.